Hi, it's Sonia and welcome back to my YouTube art channel. I thought I would just piece together a little video because this morning I'm working on removing some pieces from this sketchbook because I think I might have discussed, I don't know if I discussed it on Patreon or on a YouTube video, of cutting up this sketchbook because I don't really want to keep, it's falling apart, but I want to keep some of the pages. Like I've got these nice little sketches. I like these little sketches of my kids. They're actually done from life. So I've got the idea of, it's got writing on the back, of just cutting up some snippets and then this paper can be recycled. So I'm kind of just having a look through. So this is sketches from the Curating, it would seem. And I just, this, I guess I'm showing this in case anybody else has got some old battered, half-filled sketchbooks. Like this was at the Exploratorium. So what I could actually also do is stick, like make it sort of a fold out piece for a sketchbook. What's going to be ironic is I'm probably actually now going to end up just keeping every single page of the sketchbook. I don't think that will be the case. I think some bits, like for example this, I can discard. This page can just go into recycling. Here I have this other idea as well. So I kind of like the sketch of one of the kids drawing. I could use this as a starting off point in a sketchbook. Maybe I don't keep some of these pages, but already I could see that if I were to, for example, I've got my abstract sketchbook. I mean, if it was a bit smaller or a bigger page, like this might be quite a fun. It's just changing up also the style or composition, making it more interesting than I felt this sketchbook to be. So there's some pictures of my kids that I like, but some of them I got a bit what's the word? The figure out of proportion. Whoops, I need to check the back. I think this was one also from Sketchy. Quite frankly, I'd have to liven this up because for me it's just kind of an illustration. I guess it was a good practice at the time of copying people. What's this? Here's the problem. I dated it. It's from November. I have no... Oh, I know. This was I think it was a karate tournament. I think. So I'm going to write that in. Don't particularly care for... This was when there were wildfires and the sky turned orange. I can put that there. You could this paper isn't terribly great. I mean, you can now keep it maybe for tester paper as well if you don't want to just stick it straight into the recycling bin. To be fair, actually, I might do. What was this? This was a landscape scene. Maybe I'll keep this section and cut it out more. I did obviously the same section. Okay, this was from I might stick it in. I've got a, hold on a minute, let me just show you. I've got a book, well I've got an altered sketchbook on the go, which is more for loose drawing, but the reality is, so this is my altered book for abstract art, but I have got one which is for, I guess, realistic loose art, so I might stick some of these pieces in. Jay, I kind of feel like Jay making a sand city. I remember that. Don't need to keep these. These are, what I could do is use, I could come in and paint them and then add more figures. I don't know. Maybe think of a narrative piece. Oh gosh, that's a terrible drawing of my husband. I don't feel anything for that drawing at all. Some of these were just practice. What was in the art gallery? Let me see. I kind of like this face. Maybe I could do something with that drawing. This was not a good quality sketchbook though. I mean, I know I chuck my sketchbooks around, but this fell around. Yeah, I don't need to keep this whole, it's taking up a lot of, the problem is once you do start making more art, you have, you know, I kind of, who's that, Joseph at the Caltrain? I don't know why, I like that little drawing. I'll put who it is. That was Jay. That was Jay on the Caltrain. Sketching Jay Caltrain. What was it? Oh my gosh, this sketchbook is from 2019. Oh, this is quite a fun thing. You can make your own little cut out, and then if you did have a sketchbook you didn't like the piece, think about ideas, you could just cut out and have a little frame for the one underneath. I kind of feel, actually I didn't do badly on that sketchy sketch. This little one of my ideas is, so as I say, is to stick, for example, just to show you now, I don't know, this is going to be the most interesting video otherwise, is for example, like you could stick an old drawing in and then you could like grow, I mean, I have to sometimes, I get a bit, I'm not terribly confident in making stuff up, but this might be a way, especially in a cheaper sketchbook or a repurposed altered book, to try and do some imaginary drawings or narrative drawings from my head. I could look for like online, you know, you can look for online references, add more people in, just add an atmosphere, make an abstract, stick some other collage, jelly printing, just some ideas for your sketchbook here as well. Let's go back to, I really do want to get this one on the cat. Yeah, no, I don't need to keep these. There was value in this sketchbook for practicing drawing, but I don't need to keep. No, that's just kind of like that. It's not too bad. Maybe, I mean, I may end up getting, sometimes I cut stuff out and then I'm like, I don't know why I cut that out. That was an old self-portrait to me, I quite like it. There's also strange, I'm not a huge fan. Look, if they're on sale, I'll buy it, of this landscape format. I guess it would have obviously worked better. There's a reason they call them lands. I kind of like that sketch of our youngest. Oh, that one I do like. Oh. No, this was an interior. It's always good to practice drawing people, but I don't need to keep all those sketches at all. Blimey. Now, an interesting thing I might have a go at, I'm getting there, gosh, there's quite a lot of pages in this book. I really don't know that I've care for no, I don't need to keep that. There really isn't much I want to keep, so I'm pleased I did this. I'm wearing a mask. Okay, so now, okay, what I also want to do this, I've seen online and I've been thinking myself about cheap boards. If I want to do more experimental sort of, I quite fancy using this as a surface, so I can do acrylics or use up my acrylic paints. I can even prepare it with clear gesso for drawing. Yeah, it's given me also some nice, I kind of like that, there's sort of history in it. Yeah, so that's my pile. So now I have a little pile of snippets and let me just see, I'm going to turn this video off now and I might show you what my plans are with these little bits and bobs. Okay, so the altered sketchbook that I'm using for loose drawing, I've prepped some pages of acrylic. It's not dry yet, but I thought I'd just quickly show, this is an old sketchbook that I've done a tour of. It's like one of my figurative art, I don't know if it's in shop, figurative art sketchbooks. And if any of you guys have ever, through rushing or been given a sketchbook that you don't like the paper of, I never really, this is sort of a bright white, sort of very smooth, not very thick sketchbook that I didn't like the, the paper too much. So I have used it to stick in, these are from other sketchbooks that I've taken apart. And this is my idea also of, like, you know, you can make yourself some, what do they call them, lift flaps, like fold things in half, make it a bit more interesting as well to look through. Yeah, so what I might do now then is I've got my Anything Goes studio journal here that I've been using. I do also want to do this week maybe a review of some work, because I went on a sketch walk yeah, I need to go over some of those sketches. Okay, so this is for Anything Goes in this sketchbook. So I might just quickly want to, I thought let's have a go with my idea. Which one do I want to use? Okay, for example, let's stick this in. So I kind of like that. So what you can do now is you could extend the body, or you could, for example, what I might do is just add some flower shapes. I did do a while back in another sketchbook project. Have I got it here or is it upstairs in my... I don't know if I've got the sketchbook here, but I used to fill a page and there'd be figurative art. I'd mix up completely different styles and themes all in one spread. Actually, I feel that's quite a common thing you see on sketchbook tours as well. But the difference here is I would draw a person straight on. Here, I'm kind of just making it, sort of using it sort of a weird scrapbook project. So I'm sticking in, you know, I can stick in these little drawings. And then maybe following on, I obviously drew on her cheek with, have I got the same colour? I could sort of have the continuation. That isn't. Just drawing on. I should date, I'm terrible. Let's date the page. Is this the... Okay. Now, sometimes I don't like too much symmetry. I might keep this. Looking for or leave that as something separate because I don't know if it's really, this might work quite well. Sticking it down here. And then I feel like I really want to continue with this ochre background. So if you sometimes, and this is me, I don't know, like sometimes when I'm using a sketchbook, is this yellow? This is Bumblebee. I'm not sure this is ochre. That's not an ochre, is it? Sometimes it's almost, I draw little, or even on scraps of paper, I might do a drawing I quite like. For whatever reason, maybe I'm just feeling free. Oh, here's yellow ochre. Have I got my plate? Now I want a brush. Any brush will do. I wanted it to be quite thick, but I feel like I've added a bit too much water now. This paper is not the greatest either. I know I've spoken about it before, but it's perfectly fine for gouache and thickly layered acrylics, and even I even tested out some Japanese watercolour as well. I was thinking about putting some birds or maybe even flowers sort of coming down, but actually, aesthetically, I kind of like this. And it's just in a sketchbook. It's just, again, exploring. If I did want to go back to portraits, what would it be like to play about with where I stick my figures? Okay, so yeah, I hope this video might have given you some ideas. If you've got any old battered sketchbooks that are taking up space and you just want to have a bit of a recycle, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, bye.